The major championship series is decided not in game 4 or not in 5 or 6 or 7, the opening game. Now, this hit is a request by one of our followers of the channel, Ryan Thompson. So good to name him twice. Thank you, Ryan. He wanted us to talk about Eric Davis's home run in the first inning against the Oakland A's for Cincinnati in the 1990 World Series. Now, this home run is considered one of the greatest moments in Cincinnati history, and we're going to break it down as best we can. Now, there was a lot of anticipation going into the series because obviously the Reds overachieved that year, and Oakland, defending champions, could have been midst of a dynasty. But the opening game became the Eric Davis show. Now, ironically, he was injured later in the series, and a big controversy occurred where Marge Schott refused to fly him back home on the Reds' payroll, and Davis had to do it himself. Eric Davis at best the successor to George Foster for body type, no more than 170 pounds soaking wet, and it came down to this. Now, when Oakland pitcher Dave Stewart entered to pitch game 1, he had a 6-game postseason winning streak going, which ended after 4 innings of work. Now, the Reds got out of the gate quickly with a 2-run home run that, according to what we saw in the game, it nearly hit the CBS television studio, where later controversial anchor Pat O'Brien was sitting in left center. Now, this was, again, a big shot against Dave Stewart. Eric had a lot of power to burn and a lot of speed. Now, by 1990, he wasn't as successful as the late 1980 years, but dangerous at the plate. He saw the pitch. Literally, he said in published reports, Stewart would always throw a certain ball against a hitter like Davis, and he just waited on it, and poof, it was gone. Now, this motivated his teammates because in the same contest, Billy Hatcher helped out offensively in a big way by starting a streak of 7 straight hits in the series after a walk in the first. The Reds added to their lead when Barry Larkin drew a leadoff walk in the third and scored on a double by Hatcher, who moved to third on shortstop Mike Gallegos throw to home, and then scored on Paul O'Neill's groundout. In the fifth, after a 1-out double by Hatcher and an O'Neill walk off of Todd Burns, Davis's RBI single made it 5-0 Reds. Then Sabo hit a 2-run single, which stopped the scoring at 7-0. Now, this made an overnight sensation of Jose Rio, who was a very, very determined pitcher, but obviously not the quality of Stewart, but he became a hometown hero literally across North America overnight. Now, he threw 7 shutout innings in the contest. Now, 2 nasty boys, Rob Dibble and Randy Myers, pitched the 8th and 9th, and Cincinnati cruised to a surprise victory. Now, ironically, Davis got injured later on in the series and had to fly himself home at his own cost. Marge Schott wouldn't pay for the travel costs, and Davis almost died. Now, according to published reports, I never saw the headline, but I have to go by sources tell me, the following day's headline in the Cincinnati Post captured a city surprise with the headline, Davis stuns Goliath, because a lot of people thought the Reds were going to lose in 4 straight. But what happened, because of the momentum of Eric's home runs and Hatcher's hitting, they won 4 games straight. Game 2 was Cincinnati with a run in the bottom of the 10th for a 5-4 victory. Game 3 was 8-3 in Oakland. And then, of course, the 2-0 nipping of the A's with 2 runs in the 8th. Now, the good luck charm for that game, of course, was Joe Rudy, who threw out the first ball. Now, Rio was named the MVP and became the 2nd Dominican player to earn World Series honors. And, of course, Davis's injury basically led to a heavy, heavy controversy we're still talking about to this day, many, many years later. Now, we talked about Eric Davis being a money player. There's no much more of a money player. Your first at-bat in the World Series, or official at-bat, and you hit one of the biggest home runs of the 1990s. That Davis home run is still one of the most underrated home runs of all time because it changed the fortunes of the A's towards the Reds. Thanks for listening. Bye.